Love for all creation. This is the account of the heavens and the earth when they were created, when the Lord God made the earth and the heavens. Now no shrub had yet appeared on the earth, and no plant had yet sprung up, for the Lord God had not sent rain on the earth, and there was no one to work the ground. But streams came up from the earth and watered the whole surface of the ground. Then the Lord God formed a man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living being. The Native American word vertigo is from the Cree tribe and describes a disease. The Native American scholar Jack D. Forbes tells us that for several thousands of years, human beings have suffered from this plague, a disease worse than leprosy, a sickness worse than malaria, a malady much more terrible than smallpox. Vertigo is the disease of cannibalism. It is not, though, referring to eating human flesh. Rather, it refers to eating the life and soul of others through selfish greed. We suffer from vertigo when we regard our needs and our wants to be more important than those of the others around us. Forbes puts it this way: it is the consuming of another's life for one's own private purpose or profit. Native Americans believe Europeans took this disease to different parts of the world, including over the Atlantic, and, as the contagious illness, it started to infect other cultures. By now, this disease has reached epidemic proportions. Vertigo is the polar opposite of what our faith should be. Our faith teaches us that love, in the form of relationship, care, and cooperation, should be the driving force of our actions. This is true of our dealings with other people, but it is also true in our dealings with other living things and the environment around us. From the very first chapters of Genesis, we're shown that there is unity and harmony to every part of God's creation. The Hebrew word for man, Adam, is closely related to the word for dust, soil, or ground, Adama. From the very beginning, we have been part and parcel of nature itself, made from soil and destined to return to soil. Furthermore, in Genesis 1, everything is created before humans: wind, water, earth, air, fish, birds, and animals. And when we're finally formed, we're created for being in relationship with both God and the world around us. Jewish theologian Martin Buber summarized this word in the word. Jewish theologian Martin Buber summarized this in the words, "In the beginning was relationship." So our relationships with the world around us echo God's essential being. Buber claims that whenever we are engaged in the process of relationship, whether with other human beings or with nature, we are connecting with God. After all, God is love, and love is at the very heart of this relationship. The concept of the Trinity brings this home to us forcefully, as Screwtape, a senior demon, writes to his less experienced demon nephew in C.S. Lewis's Screwtape Letters. He claims to be three as well as one, in order that this nonsense about love may find a foothold in his own nature. God is not about vertigo. God is not about earthly power, domination, and authority. Jesus' life and death showed us that God is about servanthood and giving up power to stand alongside us in our suffering and struggles. We need to move away from viewing God as powerful, judgmental, and demanding, and recognize the God of union, love, and harmony. This should inspire our dealings with the world around us. Our faith's emphasis on the importance of loving relationships gives us a cure for vertigo. Despite this, the reality is that it is difficult for even people of faith to be healed from this disease. Our world often sees competition as more important than cooperation, and rivalry as more important than relationship. And we go along with this often without even realizing how radically at odds it is with our faith. To move away from Vetico, we must recognise that society and the world at large is one large family, with everything having a place and a purpose. Relationship is at the heart of everything. Even at the level of quantum physics, the entire fabric of all that exists is woven so closely that everything is intricately related. We humans are part and parcel of the wonderful web of life, and even ordinary objects in the environment around us, such as plants, flowers, pets, trees, or birds, can become symbols to us of the unity of our vast universe. These living things are not merely useful to us, and they are certainly not objects to be devoured, consumed, and exploited as part of our Vetico greed. Rather, they are things that hold value and significance in themselves. However tempting it is to see nature in terms of what we can get out of it, nothing in our world must be dismissed as cheap and disposable. Not any of our fellow humans, whoever they are and whatever they've done, nor animals and the natural world around us. God does not call us to control the cosmos. Instead, he calls us to embrace his beautiful and liberating cure for our Vetico, and to extend his limitless love to all of his creation, with no exceptions. Our faith challenges us to make sure we are in a living, loving relationship with the everyday things we experience in our world. Take some time today to feel connected with the natural world. If you cannot get outside to the countryside or to the local park, spend some time feeling connected in your garden, or with a pet, or even with your houseplants. Thank God for the gift of the world around us.